Boxed Off Forum, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Terry L, and I'm back at y'all with another one. This bit of news concerns Dillian Whyte and his upcoming heavyweight bout with Alexander Povetkin. Is this the last chance or the last hurrah for Dillian Whyte? Now, Dillian Whyte, if you look at his facts, Dillian Whyte is 32 years old. He's had a decent career, 27-2, 18 KOs. In his two losses, he's been KO'd twice. Alexander Povetkin, or Povetkin, if I'm saying his name correctly, is 41 years old, almost 10 years his senior, and he's had a pretty bright career himself, 36-2 and 1. So of his 36 victories, he had 25 KOs, and of the two losses, he's been KO'd once, and that's to the hands of Anthony Joshua. So the one thing these two guys do have in common, they've both been KO'd by the same opponent, by the same foe in Anthony Joshua. Dillian Whyte coming obviously a few years ago, quite a few years ago against Anthony Joshua, sensationally knocked out, I believe in round 7 in their encounter. But that was when Dillian Whyte was also, I wouldn't say as experienced as he is now. He has moved on a lot since then and has grown as a boxer. But Povetkin, on the other hand, has been a very experienced fighter. And in my opinion, is on the wrong side of 40 years old. Actually has no business being in this particular fight at this stage. I wouldn't say has no business. That's a bit rich. But at 41 years old, you would favor the younger, fresher man, as in Dillian Whyte, in taking care of the veteran. However, if anyone watched that fight, the first fight between Dillian Whyte and Povetkin, it was a great fight, and it was a fight in which Dillian Whyte will be kicking himself because he had that fight well in control. Dropped his man a couple of times, had him wobbled once, and was in cruise control. But seemed to have taken his foot off the pedal and was probably in cruise control a little bit too much, and then got caught with that beautiful uppercut that Povetkin caught him with and knocked him slam out. One thing that has to be said about any fighter who comes back off a knockout loss is their ability to bounce back and beat their opponent. As we know, certain heavyweight fighters have rebounded. Percentage-wise, I believe the statistics of winning a rematch against your foe is about 50%. So it is 50-50 whether or not you can beat your opponent having lost the previous fight, especially after a sensational knockout. People like Ali have done it. Lennox Lewis has done it. Sugar Ray Leonard has done it. Sugar Ray Robinson has done it. The greats have done it. So it can be done. It's not as if it's an impossible job, especially that Povetkin is actually getting older. He's now 41 years old. He's closer to 42 than he is to 41. And as we know, if you go into the later rounds, if you go into the championship rounds, his legs do tire and weary a lot. So if he doesn't get you out of there, as he did with David Price and as he's done with Dillian Whyte, if he doesn't get you out of there before round 10, the victory should lean towards the fresher and younger fighter or opponent. And Dillian Whyte does have arsenals in terms of weapons in both hands that he can throw. His left hook is pretty decent. He has a decent jab. He lives behind his jab. And he has pretty good movement for a guy his size. So the reality is he should win the rematch. However, and there is a however, will that knockout be lingering in his head? And the pressure that comes with that? Because if Dillian Whyte loses this fight, then the argument would be, does he have enough to come back and mount a world title challenge? Is that it for him? If he loses against Povetkin again, will that be the end of Dillian Whyte fighting for a world title or even fighting in big fights? Will he have to then step back and go into the sort of domestic realms of fighters, fighting for domestic titles or what have you? I don't think it'll get that bad for him, but it could possibly be a huge setback for him in terms of his title ambitions. He's already been overlooked, as he was overlooked massively by WBC when he was mandatory challenger at the WBC for then champion, WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder for about approximately 3 years. He was overlooked and was never given a chance to at least mount a challenge for that title, which I feel that he deserved because he put in the work. So this, and then of course, after that failed attempt, he was offered to fight Anthony Joshua for the second time around, and then they couldn't make it happen. Eddie Hearn, well, they both fight for the same stable match room. They couldn't offer Dillian Whyte a purse that made sense to him. I believe the rematch clause was what Dillian Whyte didn't like. For example, if he were to accept the terms to fight Anthony Joshua, the purse was stacked like 70-30 in Anthony Joshua's favor. But then if Dillian Whyte won and there was a rematch clause, then it would be 70-30 in Joshua's favor. Again, I think that sort of thing didn't really sit well with Dillian Whyte. So that fight never materialized purely for the money reasons and for other political boxing politics that didn't suit Dillian Whyte. So here we are again. This may be his third attempt. If he beats Povetkin, which I think he should beat Povetkin in a rematch on March 27th, then in Gibraltar. I know it's a strange place to have a fight, but COVID-19, this is where we're at now. You might have a fight somewhere in the moon next, who knows? If Dillian Whyte beats Povetkin, which he should, then he will surely be in line for a title shot, probably against the likes of the winner of the AJ Fury fight, depending on what happens in that first fight, whenever that fight gets made. If that doesn't happen, then he has to be taken seriously to fight the likes of, there's plenty of fights out there for him. There's Andy Ruiz Jr., who's in tip-top shape. That'll be a great fight. There's Deontay Wilder, who hasn't fought since he lost to Tyson Fury last February. That'll be a great fight. Some people I've interviewed recently are picking Dillian Whyte to win that fight. I disagree with that. I think Deontay Wilder has that fight in the bag, hands down. As long as Deontay Wilder comes in the fight with the right frame of mind. But I think if Deontay Wilder is anything close to what he was, and you treat that loss to Fury as an off night, he smashes Dillian Whyte. Or any top heavyweight for that matter, besides the likes of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, are pretty much the only two heavyweights I believe that can beat Dillian Whyte. So, sorry, not Dillian Whyte, Deontay Wilder. So Dillian Whyte has to win this fight, in my opinion. I think the pressure is on him. He would know this coming into this fight. And whether or not he can hold his nerve, take care of the business, look pretty good doing it, then he has to be taken seriously for a title shot. He has to be given a title shot. There's also Alexander Usyk, who's out there, who's knocking on doors as a heavyweight after cleaning up everything in the cruiserweight division. So the heavyweight division is looking pretty healthy. In my next, one of my next segments, you're going to see me do a video concerning my views wherever the heavyweights of the 1990s was a stronger division then than the heavyweight division now. Wait till that comes out and you're going to tell me what you think about that one. But that's all I got for y'all right now. You tell me whether or not Dillian Whyte, this is his last chance. Tell me what you think, whether or not you think Dillian Whyte will win his rematch comfortably by knockout, or just simply get the job done and at least prevent being knocked out and win on points. That's my take on the Dillian Whyte situation. I believe the pressure is on him. I believe he has to win this fight. I believe he will win the fight. But if he doesn't, it could be good night, Irene. Tell me what you think. Hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the bell icon. Tell me, leave your comments below. And I'm out for right now. Until the next one, I'll holler back. Peace out.